Welcome to the Gentlemen's Club, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with
Yeah,
Matt, and oh shit, we got Leon in here too. Oh hell yeah!
yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
Not
Um,
much.
Yeah.
so what was it that you wanted to bring up, Matt? Because you came up with the idea.
Well, I just figured we could talk about a lot of random stuff, but I mean, at first, I wanted to say about, you know, I'm just gonna say this, like, I'm no offense to the guy because I'm in this tournament again this year because I wanted to defend my belt or with my championship that I won back to back years, but I think it's kind of fucked up.
I'm just gonna
How,
say,
like, what's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say was like, yeah, I won his championship back to back years, and you remember the first time I won it, Kev? Remember it took him like a long ass time to give me a prize,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and then like the fucked up part was I won it the second time, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you more than $50," and it still ended up being $50. That's like bullshit right there. I mean, he's got money. Come on now, he works at Walmart. I mean, he has to make some kind of decent amount of money,
save money, live better.
right? I guess so. But I mean, it is what it is. I won his championship back to back years. I mean, like I said, if I win it again this year, it's not going to make a difference because I know the same stuff's going to happen. And if I lose it, so what? So be it. I mean, what was it? Just going to be the same thing anyway. So, but yeah, this NFL season's definitely an exciting season so far. I'm thinking no, the Seattle Seahawks aren't the team anymore to beat. I mean, they're not that top-notch team anymore.
Right.
I think losing to the Rams in the playoffs really changed their mentality.
Hey, you know what? I want to get your two's opinion on something. I don't know if y'all have heard about it in the music world, but Machine Gun Kelly decided to talk some major shit about Slipknot and
Yeah,
talk bad about Slipknot's fans too. Basically, he said, and I quote, that 50-year-old he's glad that he's not a 50-year-old man sitting there wearing a mask on stage. And ever since he said something about Slipknot, he performed last night.
and he got booed.
Oh, he got booed, middle fingered. He got into it with a Slipknot fan, everything like that. So I didn't know if you guys heard that story or what you guys thoughts on that though. But my thoughts are this: you can mess with a rapper, but don't mess with somebody in the metal world.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I heard about that story, all right. And I'm just gonna say this: Machine Gun Kelly, you done fucked up.
Yeah, he definitely did fuck up on that one because I mean, you look at Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, like just think about it this way: Eminem could have destroyed you if he wanted to,
Right.
but he decided to say some bad stuff about Slipknot, and I'm sitting there thinking, I know a bunch of Slipknot fans personally, and that's just something you don't do.
I know they're definitely not the type of people you want to mess with. Except I think Machine Gun Kelly hasn't learned his lesson from disrespecting people. So I mean, he's going to get himself teared a new one.
Yeah, I mean,
The fact
two.
that Megan Fox is with him, I mean, that's pretty. She couldn't find a better guy than him. That's pretty sad.
Well, it is Megan Fox, so let's
Yeah.
you know, let's just clarify it. I mean, Megan Fox don't have a lot of she doesn't have a lot of pull in Hollywood. I
I
mean,
guess to get with
Yeah, but then again, we're talking about, if not one of the biggest ignoramuses in the music industry.
right.
music as a whole recently has just gone down. It's just gone down the toilet. I mean, I don't
Right.
understand the kind of music that people listen to nowadays, and I'm just kind of like, I see these. We're men, we're gentlemen, so I don't know if you guys see it where you live at, but where I come, where I've lived around, there's a campus not too far from downtown, and a couple of them. And every time that me and Mel wanted to stop at this little cafe, it's a nice little cafe. It's called like Cafe Coco. It's like a nice little area. People just hang out and get some food and drinks. But there are some men out there wearing fucking male rompers.
Oh, God.
Oh God, here we go with this shit.
And they're sitting there dressing like they're wearing suits, but they're not wearing any freaking socks with them. It's like I don't understand the culture of men nowadays. I mean, like especially the younger generation, the generation underneath us. I don't get it.
Yeah.
So, what about you? So I know Leon, you actually just did a animated movie, correct?
Yes, I did.
So let everybody know. What was it? What's it about exactly?
Well, if you like, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but pretty much it's about the Egyptian god Apep, if you know who that is.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he pretty much goes on like a revenge tirade because of what happened to his one cousin, the Alga, who happens to be the time. And it and you're gonna have to like watch it yourself because I don't want to spoil it too much for you people that haven't watched it.
And it's on your YouTube channel, right?
It's actually on a friend of mine's channel, actually.
Okay. And since we're in the gentleman's clubhouse and anything goes, um, these two gentlemen have been a part of the EFED FWE that I've done, and we got one last big show to do, which is going to be a really big cliffhanger because it's going to be on this channel. So, um,
Yeah, and I'm like redoing the Titantron for one of the characters that I have in there.
so I got to ask, I didn't know what's your chances against Fargo. I mean, come on. I mean, you guys going for the FW championship. What's your
Yeah, I'd say I like my chances against Fargo. I think it's going to be a tough matchup, but I think one thing I know about Fargo is I could get in his head a lot better than he could get in my head. I mean, you saw I mean, no offense to Fargo. I mean, he's a good wrestler and stuff, but I mean, that promo was pretty weak. I mean, there's not what
that promo?
Yeah, that
I
was
mean, I
he
mean,
wasn't even cool with promo.
I'll be honest with you, Ogden. We were me and Mel were out to we were going in to get something to eat, and I started laughing, and she's like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Look at this promo," and she went, "God, that's so conceited." I mean, all he was at the gym going, "Look at me." He kind of reminds me of the Old Spice man with the whole like, "Look at me, I've lost all that weight." But Duke Botters was in the chat. Yeah, Duke, you got he's got a real big date because he's got to face not only Kenny Omega in the event, but he's also got to face another guy another guy from New Japan Wrestling, Okada.
Right, that's
So
going to be pretty exciting.
so Duke's got some. Oof.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff to do right there. A lot of
But
double duty.
it's gonna be in the two parts because the matches are so long on all of them. So it's gonna be like a part one night and a part two. So it's gonna be a lot easier for me to dissect part one and part two instead of just
Yeah,
putting because if I put it all together, it'll be a 4-hour show.
yeah, pretty much.
or 3 hours. So I thought, you know what, since we just do like one show and one show there and then another show there, and it'll be easy.
Oh, it's funny
Right.
you mentioned that because my movie is like almost 3 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah, that movie me and Mel did was only like 35 minutes, but it be but you know what's weird though? It was 35 minutes, but it took like what, like 4 or 5, 6 days to film it. I mean, there was a lot more content that should have been on there, but on the bright side, we are talking about possibly doing another horror film and doing a Friday the 13th stuff.
Don't mind that. That's my new channel intro.
But doing a Friday the 13th movie based in December around Christmas. So some kind of idea I came up with is like the idea I came up with was having all the survivors of the Friday the 13th get together and they have like this little reunion where they talk about their past experiences with Jason and all that. So it's going to be kind of fun to open it up. I can't give away too much details,
Yeah.
but you know, gotta get myself back into training as Jason. So this will be the first time I've ever played Jason. So I get a chance to
Right.
grab a hold of some people. And by the way, I would be, even though I won't be social distancing in the movie, I'll be wearing a mask so they can't say nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm also gonna put this out there. If you like need someone to like edit, feel free to hit me up because I have like a video editor that has like some cinematic aspects to it. So if you want, I could help you out with that. A little fun.
Oof. I'll definitely take you up on that.
Yeah.
So Leon, do you? I mean, like, I know me and Ogden watch this show. I don't know if you do. Do you watch American Horror Story?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay, it's a really good show. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I don't have time to like watch anything these days because I'm like of moving at the moment.
Okay. Well, I just gotta say, part one of the double feature was pretty good until the ending. That's what the part where I was kind of fucking pissed off at was the finale.
You know what? I saw a lot of people talk about that finale, and people were bitching and complaining about it too because it's. I don't want to give away details to anybody that hasn't seen it, but I would just say that you expected more than what you got.
Right. That was not what I expected, to be honest, of that. And then, I mean, now that's done. Now they go on with part two, so we'll see how that goes. That's part of the whole. The second part's gonna be what about the alien thing or whatever invasion?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So we'll see how that goes. And then I guess apparently this is gonna be Sarah Paulson's last season with American Horror Story. I mean,
that's what I heard.
so I wonder if Evan Peters is gonna be not too far behind, and he might be done soon too, maybe.
Well, Evan Peters is starting to get up there with some stuff because now he was on the Marvel show. He was on the WandaVision as Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So, he's kind of going up there a little bit more. And so if he starts
Right.
getting more into Marvel, yeah, he'll probably leave American Horror Story.
I think American Horror Stories might have. I mean, they're still a good show, but I'm saying I think they might have run their course because this is what their 10th season. I mean,
Yeah.
you can only. I know they want to do all these anthologies, episode series and stuff of seasons and stuff, but I think they kind of run their course. I think they should wrap it up soon, just like The Walking Dead's doing their thing. They're wrapping it up soon, so eventually.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of my animated film, if you're a big fan of spaghetti westerns, then the movie is definitely the one for you because I chose a specific theme from an old western movie as a Pep's theme.
Well, I'm definitely into Western films, so
Yeah, and
So
the specific theme I use for a Pep is Death Rides a Horse.
nice.
Yep.
So I want to ask you guys this. I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if y'all watched Extreme Rules or saw the ending of it. What did y'all think of the ending of it? Because it was a pretty good little match between Balor and Roman Reigns, and then all of a sudden the rope just fucking breaks.
I haven't watched it because I'm not subscribed to that Peacock Premium, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, I did hear about that road collapse shit.
I was watching the ending of it on Peacock, and me and Mel, because Mel's a fan of Finn Balor, she likes Finn Balor, so we were sitting there watching it, and they go a little extreme in there, and I'm like, okay, this is fun, all right. And then all of a sudden, Finn Balor goes up there, and every screen's red, and all of a sudden the rope just break, and the rope just broke like not on just on, I don't think on just on one side, it was on two sides. The rope just breaks, and then he falls. He falls. He gets right back up and gets speared by Roman Reigns and gets pinned.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So I don't know if that's a storyline, if maybe somebody in Finn Balor's past did that to him, or it was just an accident, or
maybe an accident.
I don't know. It was just really fun to see. It was just kind of funny to see because even Roman Reigns was like, "What the fuck?" His reaction was like, "Huh? What happened here?" Now, Mogden, I know you're a big fan of this guy, but what do you think of Punk's return after 7 years?
I think it was pretty well fitting for him. I mean, I do agree with what you said about the whole him saying about, oh yeah, this is my first time back to professional wrestling since Ring of Honor. I think that was kind of, I think he forgot where he came from and stuff. I mean, if it wasn't for WWE, I mean, would he be making the millions and millions of dollars that he's been making, and would he even be noticed by fucking AEW? So I mean, I think that was kind of a slap in the face to WWE, but also he kind of forgot where he came from. I mean, I know he went from Ring of Honor, but I mean, that's how he went up to WWE. I mean, that's where he really made his big bucks, anyways, right?
Right.
So
I mean, I think he would still be picked up in Ring of Honor if he just came from Ring of Honor to there. He just wouldn't be in the main event status that he's in.
Yeah, he wouldn't be that big star like he would. He probably would be like one of those up and coming guys or something.
Leon might agree with me on this, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify this because I really like this guy too, and he's in my top 5 wrestlers of all time. But WWE dropped the ball with Sting, like hugely bad.
Oh yeah, that's blatantly fucking obvious.
I mean, the fact that that little cinematic match that Darby Allin and him had with Brian Cage and all that Taz's crew was off the hook, and the fact that Sting is still taking a power bomb with that neck injury that he got is still taking bumps, and I'm sitting there thinking, did WWE drop the ball on this? Because I know WWE's got that lawsuit, and they're worried about wrestlers getting hurt and all that. I get that, but you had an opportunity to do Sting and Undertaker.
All right.
I mean, they did. Now, I wouldn't want to see what they did. I wouldn't with Sting and Undertaker. I don't know if I'd want to see a one-on-one match in the ring, but a cinematic match between those two.
Yeah, like the Boneyard match.
Yes, that would have been perfect. I mean, I looked at it and I'm just like, wow, Sting's over here killing it in AEW, and he actually is. I don't think he's aged very much. I know he's what, 60 now, Leon?
Like something like that, yeah.
Yeah. The man looked like he hadn't aged at all. I mean, and if AEW takes care of the older wrestlers and gives them something to do, see, that's the one thing that I was saying in my WWE videos, that the one thing that's missing in WWE, the one thing I love about MVP with Bobby Lashley and with Paul Heyman, it's always good to have that manager, that guy that speaks for you. And when I see AEW, I see Arn Anderson's over there with Cody, and I see Jake Roberts with that. Jake Roberts is a manager on there now, and you got Taz with his group. And I think WWE loses the art form of not having the managers and how important they were.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, CM Punk's debut with AEW does change diameters, and it does. AEW's ratings have gotten better. The one thing I will say about Daniel Bryan out of Punk though is that at least Daniel Bryan is still kind of he's respectful about where he came from.
Right.
And he's basically like, look, I liked my time there. I love the people there, but now I'm doing something else.
Yep.
I mean, let's not forget though, Punk, you did go in the UFC and got your ass kicked twice. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, pretty,
So now that Punk's in AEW, Ogden, do you want to see him? Do you want to see him fight Kenny Omega? Is that what you're?
I think that would be definitely a good matchup right there. Him and Omega. I think eventually they'll have it happen though.
I would like to see him and Brian go at it one more time.
Right.
That.
Yeah, a lot of options to go. So
So I'm going to ask you guys this: do you think that there's another? Do you think wrestling's going to be as popular as it was for us in the Monday Night Wars, or do you think this is as good as it's going to get?
That's pretty hard to decide.
What do you think, Ogden?
I don't know. I think that's hard to say, but I just don't think it's hard. It's hard to match up to what the Monday Night Wars was, though.
Well, I think honestly, one thing we're gonna have to. The one thing I was telling people, and I think I was telling a wrestling buddy the other day, this is that it's kind of hard now because you have a lot of streaming devices,
Yeah.
and so people are cutting the cable and they're going to streaming, and some people who may not want to pay $4.99 or $9.99 for Peacock, they're gonna go on YouTube and they're gonna watch all the results of anything WWE does or AEW, which in return actually hurts their ratings.
Right.
So there's so much content on TV. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there was a lot of content during the Monday Night Wars, but Monday Night Wars has so many larger than life characters. I think that's what's lacking with wrestling now. Is there's not many big. I mean, like they're big stars, but they're not like you don't see a Stone Cold, you don't see a Rock, you don't see Undertaker, you don't see a Sting or a Hogan or the NWO or DX. You don't see that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only big thing with it now. Do I think wrestling can get popular again? Yeah, I think so, but I don't know if they can get as that high. It's just the way the internet is, because the internet was around back then, but it wasn't as popular. So it was like, and I know I have to ask you too this because I know you both are not liberal people, so I can get away with asking you this without the guidelines of YouTube coming after me. What do you guys think here? The last couple of weeks, at college football games and campuses all around the country, they've been chanting "F Biden."
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Right. Yeah, I think Biden's definitely fucked up the country, and this is definitely not. I can honestly say that in 2024, they're definitely going to see a rise of Trump again. So
The only thing the only thing that concerns me about 2024, and the only thing that concerns me about the election period is, you saw what happened in California too. They're still finding ways to screw the system.
Well, that's the only way Biden's going to win 2024 is if they somehow fucking rig it like they did in this one.
If he lives that long.
I'll be right back.
If he even lives that long. For all we know, it might end up being fucking Kamala Harris.
Camel hairy ass.
Yeah. So regardless, I don't think it's going to matter who's the president who runs in 2024. If it's Biden or her, I think they're not going to stand a chance against Trump unless they end up fucking rigging it.
That's going to be the big that's going to be the big thing, because I mean, he really hasn't said if he's going to run in 2024 or not. I think he said it all depends on how his health is, and
Yeah, that
everything.
also comes down to it. Everything could change in 2024. That's a long ways away. That's
I
3
think if
years
he
from now.
doesn't, I think if he doesn't win, I think that guy Sanchez from the Florida governor would probably be
Yeah, I think he'll be the president probably.
the next choice in that matter. I mean, you know, I told Mel that I should run, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's
But
definitely gonna.
she wouldn't want to be the first lady.
Huh. Yeah. So, what do you think about the NFL season so far?
Well, it's a bit surprising to see. It's really surprising to see the Chiefs struggle, and
I know they should have been 0-3 to be honest with you if the Browns wouldn't have fucked that lead up.
it's surprising to me to see the Raiders being
Yeah.
pretty good as they are. I will say though, I love what Aaron Rodgers is doing to some of those some of those sports writers in Green Bay. I find it because after the game against San Fran, another reporter asked him, try to cut him off and ask him like, "It just seems like you don't care, and this and that." And he was, if you haven't seen it, Ogden, it's funny. it's
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, everybody's been talking like saying Rodgers was going to leave and then he came back. So, I mean, if he ever did decide to leave, I mean, that's up to him. That's his choice. But if we do go to the Super Bowl and win it all and he wants to leave, then at least it'll be a perfect ending, right? I mean, it'll be kind of like the ending with Vince Lombardi and the Packers when he won his second Super Bowl with them. So, and he ended up going to Washington the next year. So, it would
well,
definitely be a perfect ending if he did win a Super Bowl, one more Super Bowl with us.
I think Green Bay's got a very. I mean, like let's just clarify. Week one, everybody's always like, "Oh my god, your teams lose week one." Week one really isn't that big of a deal. If you
Right.
lose week one, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, obviously, if you're looking at my team, they lost the first game, but the last two they bounced back and came about. So honestly, it's too early to tell because, like, I think Stephen Rose asked me, like, "Hey, who do you think's gonna go to the Super Bowl?" And I'm like, "That's too early to tell."
Right. It's definitely too early to tell. There's a lot of games left to play.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of this whole? What do you think about the actual movies out there now? Do you think the theaters are going to still be in business, or do you think that company like production companies are going to start going to Netflix and Hulu and all these other little streaming sites?
Well, I think they're gonna start going to these streaming sites because there's like a story that broke that Scarlett Johansson, whatever the fuck her name is, she's suing Disney for breaching of contract or some shit like that because they tried to like put some movies she was in on their streaming platform, and she's now getting blackballed because of it.
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. You're talking about Scarlett Johansson when she did the Black Widow. It was supposed to be,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was supposed to be like it was supposed to be, from her understanding, she signed a contract that's supposed to be in the theaters only, and they didn't give her the extra deal to do on the streaming site. But they sure as
Yeah.
hell gave it. But they sure as hell gave it to The Rock for the Jungle Cruise, though.
Yes, I don't know what the fuck is up with that shit.
Because Dwayne Johnson can do no wrong. I mean,
Right.
I mean, like I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just tired of seeing him in every freaking movie I turn around. I'm like, there he is. I mean, it's just
Political views, I definitely don't like. I don't know where the hell what kind of world he's living in to fucking endorse Biden. You know
well.
that
Looking forward to December though.
Oh, what's going on in the summer, Leon?
I guess you didn't see the one trailer I posted, but Alfred Molina is coming back as Doctor Octopus.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I'm looking forward to that Spider-Man movie. It's going to be cool to see how they're going to have all the original Spider-Mans together. That's going to be pretty fun to see.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what surprised me enough is that they're keeping the original design of the tentacles from the 2004 movie.
Yeah, that was fun. When I saw him in that trailer, I was like, "Oh, they kept him looking just the same. This is cool. All right, just the same." By the way, too, I did the new Halloween. Not only is it going to be in the theaters, but it's also going to be on. It's also going
Peacock
to
or
be
whatever.
just going to be streaming on Peacock. So if you have the $4.99 deal or the $9.99 deal, you can watch it at the comfort of your own home, or you can go to theater and watch it.
I definitely should buy that. What was it like? You get it, you pay for it every month or something, or how does that work?
I forgot how the Peacock thing works. If I look back at it, I'll let you know. I'll inbox you about it. It's
Maybe I should just download it just so I could watch that then. Definitely be interesting.
well, from what I heard about this Halloween Kills, um, from the reviews have said so far, it's supposed to be the most goriest Halloween we've ever seen. And I don't want to give away
Mhm.
too away for people, but let's just say that the townspeople is basically on a Michael Myers hunt. So
Oh yeah,
he's got the entire town after him.
right. That's
And
definitely gonna be. So I'm guessing Halloween Kills is gonna be basically when they go after him, but they probably won't kill him off. But I'm thinking in Halloween Ends, that's where it finally all ends. I guess Michael and fucking I'm guessing Lori's probably gonna die too. I guess maybe since the last one.
I know I was talking about it with Mel, and I was like, if that's going to be the last, if that's really going to be the last ever Halloween movie, then you need to kill them both.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be definitely perfect ending then. I mean, kill them both and then like have it where like somehow she sacrifices herself, I guess, and locks Michael in a room or something, and like ends it the same way that it was supposed to be in Halloween 2, where Michael was originally supposed to die and just like blow the house up or something with both of them in it or something like that.
That'd be fun to do.
Like definitely have like something like that happen.
I don't know if you guys heard, but they're also remaking the Exorcist.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, any movie
Didn't they
like
already?
what's that, Mark?
Didn't they already? Didn't they already kind of remake The Exorcist before?
They did a TV show that lasted for
Oh,
2 seasons, but
yeah, they definitely. I don't know. It's just I don't know if you could outdo the original. It's hard to do.
well, the only way this remake would work, and this is what I was telling Mel. The only way I would accept it is if you cast Linda Blair as the mom in the movie.
Yeah, that'd definitely be interesting.
I mean that right there, I could be like, okay, so you got some of the original right there in the movie. But my problem with remakes, especially horror film remakes, is that they always make them so demonic now. That
Yeah,
they go way darker with their stuff now than they did in the past. So
right.
So I have to ask you too, this Ogden. I know you're a big. I know you're a big Cleveland fan as far as baseball. How do you feel about the name change?
I definitely don't like it. Did you see? I don't know if you heard about it, but did you hear about that congressman that offered $1 billion to buy the franchise so we could keep the name?
No, I didn't hear that.
I mean, they turned it down though, but I mean, I just think it's kind of fucked up. Now we gotta come to this. I mean, we went from fucking changing, getting rid of Chief Wahoo. Now we gotta fucking change the name. Everything's so offensive with this rule. I mean, everything's all cancel culture bullshit.
Well, that ain't nothing. I heard on the grapevine that they're trying to do something with the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and so it's gonna. I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. I remember my father-in-law told me one time he's like, I'm really scared for y'all's generation. And when I die, I'm scared for y'all's generation. I'm like, now I'm starting to understand what he meant by that.
Yep. It's definitely not a. Everything's definitely changed now.
Well, I mean, when you look at people can do what they want. I mean, they can ask for statues to be taken down. They can do this. They can do that. But you can't change history, especially the Civil War, the bloodiest war in America. 200 and almost like 500,000 people died in that war. So you can't really, whether it's from the South or the North, you can't really change what happened. So putting it under the rug is not gonna change what happened.
It's definitely not.
And I really don't think there's any that much hate in the world like it used to be. According, I just think the media just loves to have something to talk about, and they twist everything around to fit their narrative of what they want to do.
Yeah, over exaggeration.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, though, I know I can't say the word on YouTube where they go, but we have a friend who has type 2 diabetes and had the virus recently, and they were fine after a week. So,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think the
Yeah,
whole COVID-19 thing is just over exaggerated. I mean, I know I'm not saying it's not real, but I mean it's just the fact that they're making it out to be like this deadly virus. I think what was it when Obama was in office? Remember we had the H1N1 swine flu. Nobody, we didn't have to wear masks or nothing.
around that time, if I saw a bird next to me, I would have killed it at that point. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are people getting sick. There are people that are
There's
dying, but
also other things involved with it also, not just the COVID. They're not dying because of the COVID. They're dying because they have other stuff inside them, and the COVID affects even more.
right.
I mean, that's what they're mainly dying from. But everybody's going to say, "Oh, they just died of COVID-19 symptoms."
The one thing about this whole, or as I like to call it, the the Kobe. I'm gonna call it the Kobe virus because that's that way. It's not anything. Don't have to get flagged for saying the c word. But honestly, for me, I look at it like this. I mean, the vaccine I thought was supposed to be for the people that are, you know, have all these viruses, or they have
Right.
these sickness, or the older people, the older generation. I thought that was what it was supposed to be for
I
originally.
guess. Yeah. I mean, that's the first people they helped out though with the vaccine, and then after that, then they said everybody can get it.
Well, the biggest thing too is there's a lot of money, and people don't want to admit it, but there's a lot of money in this whole thing. Whenever there's a death and the hospitals get to write it down, they get money.
So they're paying the money just to say they died of COVID when they really didn't die of COVID.
On some people, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
So I mean, it's just as crazy as them using a dead person as a vote. You know, it's the same premises on that, and it's really sad too, because
Right.
I look at this world and I'm like, was there really anything really bad about America that cancel culture has such a problem with? That I
Right.
mean, we have we have these groups like BLM and all that, but I look at that, I'm like, here in Tennessee alone, half of the crime rate is basically black on black crime.
Right.
So where are you guys at on that? I mean, why are you guys not trying to help your own people?
Right. That's definitely what they don't want to see. They want to look at it as, oh, the white man's killing us down or something like that. But it's mainly their own race that's killing them more than anything.
Yeah, and I know that we're both basketball fans. Oh, I have to get your opinion on this. I don't know if you heard about what Scottie Pippen said, but um, he basically called Phil Jackson a racist.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I mean, I think that's kind of stupid right there. Why would Phil Jackson be a racist? I think it was just the fact that he was mad about the whole what was it, the
The
Eastern
Last
Conference,
Dance.
wasn't it, or something? He was like he didn't get the final shot or something.
Yeah, it was the '94 semifinals. They were against the Knicks, and Scottie Pippen did get. If I went back and I asked my brother, because my brother was a big Bulls fan, so I went to ask him, and he told me before that happened, Scottie Pippen did get a shot off, but he missed it. So when they had that seconds left during the season, Tony Kukoc has made that shot like two or three different times.
Right. So I
So
mean,
Phil went with him instead.
yeah, it's not like he wasn't doing it. It's not like he wasn't having the opportunity to get it. So I mean, I don't know what Scottie Pippen's beef with Phil Jackson supposed to be about, but
I think some of it was about his book sales, his little autobiography he wrote. But I think
right,
he was really pissed off about the Last Dance um, documentary they did,
right,
because I mean, if you look in episode 2 of that, if you go back to the episode 2, Jordan does call him out.
right,
You know, he basically said Scotty was being selfish, and you know, during their last championship run, he waited until midway in the season to get surgery when he could have did it like in the beginning of the year.
right,
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Michael, Jordan's always said that he would never win a championship without Scotty. He's always put Scotty up on a high pedestal.
right,
He's never had like any issues with him, but apparently Scotty's got issues with him and Phil Jackson. And I'm sitting there thinking, Phil Jackson's coach, majority of the people in the NBA, I would say 85 or 75% are African American, right?
right,
And Phil Jackson, maybe besides Steve Kerr and maybe a couple white guys on the Bulls team, majority of them were African American,
right.
and on the Lakers too. So
Well, I mean, if he was a racist, why would he want to be involved in a league that has majority African American people?
right,
Why would if he was a racist?
right, it makes no. When I first saw that,
Right,
I lost a lot of respect for Scotty, and Scotty used to be one of my favorite players.
right,
I lost a lot of respect for him because I'm just like, why are you coming out now with it? Because before the Last Dance came out, you and Dennis Rodman were on ESPN sitting there saying that the Golden State Warrior team wouldn't be able to beat you guys.
right. Definitely not. So I don't know. I know you're a Yankees fan, Kev. Are they out of the playoffs, or did they make it in?
I have no idea. I haven't kept up with it. As a matter of fact, I know they.
I need to look at the playoff picture or something because
Yeah,
last time I checked, I know they were in the run. I know the Indians are out of it. So I mean, let me see. Yeah, the Yankees did make it. They made it to the, I think, wild card round.
Okay.
So, but they got to go up against the Red Sox. So that's
Ugh,
definitely an easy game.
we
You
all
know what I
know.
honestly think is going to happen? I think what's going to happen is, I mean, we've seen Tampa Bay. They've been pretty spoiled with all their teams winning. I think Tampa Bay Lightning's. I'm not the Tampa Bay Rays are going to end up winning the World Series this year. If not them, I think it's going to be the underdog St. Louis Cardinals because they always seem to come out of nowhere and make this Cinderella story.
Well, the one thing, we all know the Yankees are facing the Red Sox. We all know about that rivalry there. Yankee fans, we hate the Red Sox. Red Sox fans hate us. So it's kind of
Yep.
And that feud goes on from a long time when the Red Sox had Babe Ruth and they traded him to the Yankees, and
Right.
so that feud goes quite a while. But I don't know. I think the Tampa Bay Devil Rays has a really good chance. They have a good
Right.
shot at getting in the World Series, and you're right about the Cardinals. They tend to kind of shine during these moments.
Yep. So we'll see, but it's definitely going to be exciting to see what happens.
I will be honest with you, Ogden, though. One of the funnest times I've ever had watching a World Series was the 2016 with the Indians and the Cubs. That was
definitely exciting.
That was an exciting World Series. Went to Game 7, I think.
Yep.
And both teams haven't won a World Series in a long time. So, yeah, it was fun to watch that.
I don't think there'll ever be. I don't know if another World Series will add up to that one again. It's definitely going to be hard to replicate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be I think baseball is they always call it America's pastime, but I don't know if baseball has lost its luster.
One thing about baseball and football, though, football seems to get. I don't know. It also does depend on the teams too, but I think baseball, you don't see that many fans go to a game unless it's like a postseason game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people really don't care much about baseball like they do all the other sports.
I can honestly tell you, Ogden, I've never been to a Major League Baseball game.
Really?
No, I've never been, and I've heard, and I've been told that baseball is actually fun it's actually more fun in person than it is on TV.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more fun in person. Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see what happens in the playoffs this year with this MLB playoffs. But I definitely think a World Series for the Rays and Cardinals would be a good one. I mean, the Cardinals came out of nowhere with that 14-game win streak, so
right,
they're definitely hungry for a championship, another one. So you can't count them out.
Getting back to what you were saying earlier in the beginning of the show, where you were talking about the Tournament of Champions, like what's been struggling with it this year, like what? Because I haven't done it in 2 years, so I don't know everything that's going on.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Well, one thing Steven Rose has done, though, he's kind of kept it for last year. I mean, hopefully he keeps it up with this year too. But one thing I definitely seen that was different is he definitely doesn't. He makes sure we're not picking basketball games now. So that's one thing I got to give him props for.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I mean, you did have to pick a college football game, I think, but other than that, though, I mean, he's kept it mainly football.
Yeah, because that last one I was in, I had a pretty good record. And when I got into the playoffs, I lost because of a basketball game. And it was kind of like, it really stunk.
Yeah, in basketball, how like you're like thinking to yourself, how can I decide which team I want to pick because I really don't know much about basketball like I do football. Why do I pick a basketball game?
Yeah, I especially didn't keep up with basketball like I used to. So when that happened, I was like, well, shit, I don't really know how this is going to come about because I really don't.
Watch basketball,
I don't really follow basketball. So for me, it was like, well, this is not going to be good.
right? Well, I definitely, if I do win it again this year, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win it again or if I'm not going to win it, but if I do win it again, I already know what's gonna happen. So I'm not really gonna get my hopes up on getting a big prize or something.
Who won it last year?
Me,
Oh, that's right. You did win it last year. Yeah.
remember I won it back to back years, and then the first year he didn't give me a prize until like fucking. It was like a long ass time it took him to give me a prize, and then who was it? The second year he said he's gonna give me more than $50. It ends up still being $50. So,
Yeah. We all know that Stephen Rose, the reason why he loses all that money because of all that, because of all those little dating sites that he pays for, finding those little catfish and all that.
it's definitely something Steven's used to, I guess.
Well, I know I'm not a, I know I don't do TTC videos anymore, but I have thought about doing a hate week against the Texans. It's just fun
Right.
to pick at them.
And fucking Deshaun Watson doesn't want to fucking play for you guys anymore. Ain't that pretty sad? And you're still ending up being stuck with him, and you got to still pay him.
Yeah.
So I
I know.
mean, why not fucking just trade him off or something, and try to trade his contract to someone else or something who will pay it. Oh hell, fucking Pittsburgh, Big Ben's sucking now. They might as well just fucking make a trade offer to Houston or something.
Well, the problem is taking that trade for Deshaun Watson. You don't know what his criminal thing looks like because of all those sexual allegations going on. So we don't. So I think teams are a little scared to pull the trigger
right
on doing it. But I don't know. I mean, I think if Deshaun Watson goes anywhere, he can make that team better anywhere he goes.
And he's not going to be in Houston. No. I think honestly, I feel like if this one guy gets their second stringer gets hurt, honestly, I feel like they're not even going to fucking start Deshaun Watson then too, because Deshaun Watson ain't going to want to start anyway. They'll probably have to put in their fucking punter or something.
Well, look at J.J. Watt and D Hop. They went to the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are playing better.
Right.
So now they're in a totally different ball game, a totally different division, where they don't have to worry about playing with the Texans anymore. And
right. I do feel bad for Larry Fitzgerald though. He's not on the team anymore. He's a free agent. I feel bad for him. I mean, he was pretty much there a long time, and this is the way they repay him. I mean, they could have at least said, okay, we're not going to start you, but we'll sit you on the bench.
Hey, Green Bay could sign him.
That's true too. And
I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, he's sitting right there. I mean, right. if I'm Larry Fitzgerald, I would want to go to a team that I know has got a chance to win the Super Bowl.
And I definitely Green Bay's definitely one of them.
So I mean, you don't want to go to Tampa because Tampa's already full with Antonio Brown, and they're already full with Goodwin and Evans. So you don't want to go to Tampa, but I think if you want to go somewhere, hell, he can go to Kansas City.
Yeah, but I also heard that Kansas City might try to sign what's his name, Gordon.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me why they would sign Josh Gordon, but it's.
I guess they're desperate now because they're 1-2.
I know when I did my Titan video, last one I did, I was basically saying that the Titans got a really harder schedule after these next two games, but I look at it now and I'm sitting there thinking, Buffalo doesn't scare me because we beat them last year, so Buffalo doesn't scare me, and the way the Chiefs are playing right now, they don't scare me either. So. Yeah. I still think no matter where the Titans end up on their record, the AFC South sucks right now. So the Titans have pretty much got it. Even if they get even if the Titans finish 8-8 or 9-7, I'm just throwing that out there, or like 9-8 because of the extra game.
Yeah.
No matter where they finish, I think they're still winning the division, anyways.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens.
I think Green Bay is going to win their division because I don't think Justin Fields didn't look too good in that Cleveland game.
No, definitely did not. And hey, what's up, Travis? Yeah, Travis, you got a chance to hang out with Steven Rose. Saw that videos of you guys in Dallas. That was hopefully Steven didn't fart too much around you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, I know the Titans definitely aren't going to sleep on the Jets.
Well, I don't want us to do what we did last year where we went in there in Cincinnati and we just pretty much let the Bengals just beat us.
Right.
That's something that I don't want to happen. I mean, right now, Titans are trying to get some stuff out of order. I mean, Bud Dupree is still coming back from that ACL injury, so we haven't really seen much of what he can do yet. They're starting to get Taylor Lewan back in the mix, and now AJ Brown has got a hamstring injury, and they're slowly trying to get Julio back in. But Julio's fit in pretty well with us, I think so far.
Right. Definitely going to be.
Travis said Green Bay will win the North, but fall in the wild card.
He'll fall in the wild card.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't know who they're going to fall against though.
Right now, if I would say Tampa would get home field, but right now, Tampa lost to the Rams, so. I don't know.
Well, the Rams, they got the Rams that are 3-0. The Cardinals are 3-0. So I think those two are going to duke it out for the West. You got the Seahawks. They're not looking too good now after losing to the Vikings.
Well, you also don't look good. You also don't go look good too when you had the Titans beat and starting in the second half and you let them jump back like that. So yeah, I think Russell Wilson. I think he needs to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
I really do.
Maybe it's time for him to go somewhere else. I mean, that'd be crazy if fucking Rodgers decides to leave Green Bay and Green Bay tries to make a run after Wilson.
That's possible. But I don't
know if they'll do that though, because I think they definitely want to invest in the quarterback they drafted now. They don't want to just keep on them.
Yeah, the reason why Travis said that about Green Bay, because he said, looking at their schedule, they have the Cleveland Browns, the Ravens, the Cardinals, and the Rams, and all are solid teams on their schedule.
Yeah, I mean, they're solid teams, but I mean, Green Bay can match up with them, I think. I know it's not going to be an easy task, but I think we can match up with them.
The Ravens are always a good team, but I'm still not sold on Lamar Jackson. I know he's a dangerous weapon to use, and he's fun to use on Madden. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I just don't think that he's not Patrick Mahomes material. He's not
right.
He's not at that level. And I know Ravens Red Zone will probably want to kill me for saying that, but it's honest.
I mean, he's definitely not that. He's not all that great.
I know Big Ben wants to do 1 year. I know this was supposed to be the last year that he wanted to do anything, but he's really, to be honest with you, Big Ben's embarrassing himself.
And I think he should have just retired after Cleveland beat him in the playoffs. But I think he figured he got a lot left in the tank, but his arm looks shot. He's definitely not playing like the quarterback he used to be. I honestly feel like Green Bay should murder them.
I don't know. Maybe Big Ben needs to call Tim Brady and get some pointers on how to keep playing at a certain level. And if Brady keeps playing the way he's playing, I mean, I know he's 43 or 44 now, so I know he said maybe till he plays 45, and that's next year. He turns 45 in August.
I think he's going to play longer than that.
I think he might play longer than that. Yeah. And that's and that big game coming on tonight, this Sunday night, Brady goes to New England and faces the Patriots. I guarantee you Brady's going to light them up.
Yeah, and then that will put him on the record board of beating every team in the NFL. He'll be with Favre, Breeze, and Brady. Favre, Breeze, and Manning.
And I'm surprised the Saints are doing. I mean, I'm not surprised the Saints are doing well. I was a little bit. But the one thing about that is I'm just really shocked that they're doing well with Jameis Winston, because I'm not saying Jameis Winston was a bad. I'm not trying to say he stinks or anything, but you just lost. Drew Brees is retired, so you're basically like, I don't know. I'm just surprised that they're actually at that level that they are at right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too that they're at that level. But I mean, we still have a lot of football to play, so who's to say that these next games coming up, maybe he might end up laying an egg and start sucking again. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I know we have the Jets coming up, and I mean, and even if the Titans decide to sit AJ and Julio, I still believe we'll beat the Jets.
Yeah, you should. And then everybody's talking about this. Also, the Jaguars getting Trevor Lawrence, but when we actually seen him right now, his stats aren't really that great. I mean, they kind of overhyped him a little bit.
The Trevor Lawrence thing, I think he's finally, Trevor Lawrence is one of those guys when you look at him on tape, great college football player, but then I don't know if I think he's realizing that the NFL is a lot faster.
Right.
And the playbook's bigger and everything else. So I think Trevor Lawrence is starting to do that. But I really do think Justin Herbert, and I agree with Travis on here, Justin Herbert's doing really well with the Chargers. I think he's gonna be a solid quarterback going in the future.
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's who the Bengals should draft is Justin Herbert.
Well, I mean, you look at some of these
Um,
younger quarterbacks coming into the league, and I mean, Kyle Murray. Kyle Murray's got a future in with the Cardinals.
right.
I mean, but I will say though, when we're looking at the NFC East with the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and the Washington Football Team, which I still like to call them the Redskins. I'm gonna still call them the Redskins. I don't give a fuck. They're still the Redskins. But right now, from the way Dallas beat the Eagles last night, I really don't see. I see Dallas actually winning that division, and it's
Yeah,
just. I mean,
right. I definitely see Dallas win that division.
but if Dallas ever wanted to pull the trigger, I know this would be a crazy trade. I just did this trade recently on Madden. I traded Deshaun Watson for Dak Prescott. So
Right.
I had Deshaun go to Dallas, and then I had Dak go to Houston.
Well, that'd be crazy.
And I think the reason why the 49ers are a good team. I just don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's that big star that they spend all that money on. I just I mean, yeah, he got you to the Super Bowl, but let's be honest, it wasn't really him that got you there. It was that defense that got you there.
Yeah, that's true. The defense definitely got him there. And they ended up getting beat by the fucking Chiefs.
Oh, Travis wanted you to know, Matt, that Pac-Man Sports said that McCarthy's not the right fit in Dallas last season in a video.
He isn't.
Oh,
I agree with that. I mean, I don't know why you guys wanted to have him as your head coach. That's like mind-boggling to me. I would have definitely went with a different option. And I think it's
yeah.
kind of karma because I remember Michael Rand bad mouthing Mike McCarthy, calling him a fat face love, and then all of a sudden now it's funny now Dallas ends up having him as their head coach now.
Michael Rand, the guy that does BDSM. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
He likes some of that whipping chains.
yeah, he definitely does.
Well, I mean, it's no worse than Steven Rose dressing in drag.
Right? Can't be.
He just said on the chat that Matt LaFleur is Jim Caldwell 2.0, really only good because of Rodgers.
Oh, come on.
I think maybe he might be still bitter about that playoff game with you guys and the Packers.
I think he still has nightmares about the Packers beating them in the playoffs multiple years.
Well, if you think McCarthy's not a good fit for the Dallas, like who do you think would be a good fit for Dallas?
Right? I don't know. It's hard to say. I definitely think they would have to get like a younger head coach, probably, maybe. That's mainly where most of the league's going to is younger head coaches.
I know a lot of people want to go with a coaching and stuff like that. Actually, if I was Dallas, I mean, and I know that Nick Saban's coached before, but the one thing that I will say about this is I actually think that Nick Saban would fit in perfectly in Dallas. But then again, though, would he ever want to leave Alabama when he's got all that success in Alabama? So
Right.
that's the biggest thing right there is you have to. The only thing I will say about the Packers, though, Ogden, is that their last two times they went to the NFC Championship, Matt LaFleur has made the bad decisions on not letting the ball be in Aaron Rodgers' hands.
Right.
That's one thing the Packers have got to get over is they have to get over that little hump of when the ball when it's the playoff time, the ball should be in Aaron's hands. Like when you go to Tampa, the ball's in Brady's hands. It has to be like like in my last Titan video, I said, look, Tannehill's good during the season, but we need him to be better during the playoffs because if he's not good in the playoffs and they start stacking the box against Derek, there's no that's pretty much easy way to beat the Titans at that point. You looking at the comment section? Ogden? I don't know, Matt just went out there for a second. But yeah, I mean, looking at Travis's comment about Matt LaFleur, yeah, he made some really bad decisions the last two NFC championship games. Especially not having the ball in your main star's hands. That's definitely not going to get you past into the Super Bowl if you don't do that. So I'll say that much about it. I think Ogden is still. Maybe he'll come back in here in a minute. I don't know. Oh, Mike Nolan, yeah, he's not a really. I really didn't understood the whole defensive coordinator thing with Mike Nolan. I think that Quinn is definitely a better defensive coordinator. I think he's definitely a better defensive coordinator. Yeah, I was actually going to be ending the show soon because I've been on here for like an hour. Next time, though, Travis, I'll definitely bring you on because I like to get more of a panel on here to talk about football. But we were just talking about random. We were talking about random stuff there in the beginning of the show, like about politics and all that stuff, and hopefully YouTube won't be looking at it and going, "Oh my God, he said the word." But yeah, next time, Travis, I got you, man. I'll definitely send it to you. I don't know if. All right, Ogden's back.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, it's okay. I mean, you can admit that. I mean, we'll see what Matt LaFleur does without Rodgers when Rodgers leaves. But I mean, it definitely that'd be like saying like, oh, this team's good because of the quarterback or something like that. I mean, but it's a team sport, though. I mean, Rodgers isn't playing defense too, though. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, if Jordan Love ends up being a good quarterback, or I mean, I don't think it'll be. I think he'll be a good quarterback, but I don't think he'll be near the level of Aaron Rodgers good.
Well, the one thing about that thing with Green Bay is they have that tendency, and I can understand why Aaron almost wanted to. Why he almost wanted to leave why he wants to leave Green Bay is they don't really give him weapons during the offseason, or they don't really bring anybody in during the they don't really draft weapons for him. And it's just, it's frustrating, especially when you take away certain players that he's cool with, and that's just the front office there for you.
Exactly. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I honestly think this might be Rodgers' last year with us. Though that's just my opinion. Now I'm already preparing for it. And then if Matt LaFleur doesn't end up being the head coach that we thought he was, then it is what it is. But
That's what I find funny about the NFL. Like whenever you have like an offensive coordinator and they do really well with a team, and all of a sudden teams are like, "Ooh, let me fire my coach and bring in an offensive coordinator." Look what's going on with Arthur Smith. Like he was an offensive coordinator for us for 2 years, and now he's in Atlanta, and Atlanta stinks.
right.
So I mean, was it really him being good, or was it just the players you had around you that made your players good?
Definitely something to look at. I don't know. We'll see though, but AFC is definitely going to be a lot competitive. I think. I don't think Kansas City's going to have an easy time back to the Super Bowl again.
Well, I think the NFC. This is the year. I think the NFC is going to be a little bit more stout
Yeah.
with their playoff picture, because I mean, for a while it's been all AFC because you're like, wow, there's Kansas City, there's Buffalo. Before it was like Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Now Cleveland's in the mix, and
Right.
now you got Tennessee in the mix, and
Yeah.
we'll see what the. I'm kind of curious to see how the Raiders do toward midway through the season. We'll see if the Raiders can stay the way they are, because I really don't.
Right.
I don't know. Not
No,
sold
we'll
on the
see.
Raiders yet.
Definitely. We'll see. I mean, you see if if it was just fluke that they got 3-0, or if they beat Kansas City, that'll definitely prove to me at least they have a shot at maybe being legit a little bit. I still think they're definitely going to have a tough road ahead of them. I mean, the last three teams they beat, they beat what? The Dolphins, the Ravens, and the Steelers. So I mean, you can't really honestly say they're a good team yet. I mean, Steelers aren't really that great, and the Dolphins really aren't that great without. They play the Dolphins team without Tua. So I mean, can't really say they're legit yet.
And well, the one thing I will say though, Matthew Stafford's probably having a ball now because he's like, well, I left Detroit, now I'm with the Rams and I'm doing really well. So
Right. He's definitely a happy camper. He'll probably make the playoffs now.
well, he kind of deserves it, man. He's a good quarterback, and he's been stuck with the Lions for.
If he would have left sooner, though, maybe he would have had a shot at least contending for multiple Super Bowls, maybe.
And Stafford now is with a good team, so I mean,
Right. We'll definitely going to see what will happen. I don't know. The NFC West is pretty tough, though. So can't really count the Cardinals out. And who's to say Seattle won't bounce back from their loss and beat San Francisco?
yeah, one thing I'll say about the Titans here is that they still get no respect from the media, and during the off season, all everybody talking about, oh, they got Julio and AJ Brown, they're going to be this and that, and I'm just like, and now there's like this little thing where Coach Vrabel called out Julio, and now the media here is trying to cause a rift between Julio and Mike Vrabel, and I'm sitting there thinking, it's just because Julio's coming back from an injury and he's an investment, so you don't want to push Julio too far because he is 32. I mean, he's not old, but he's
up there.
And the only person on the Titans defense that's really done anything in the last couple of years has been Harold Landry. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons is pretty good too, but they really haven't had a real good stellar defense in a long time.
Right.
That one year that we went to the AFC Championship, that was probably the best defense we had in a while. And then we let Logan Ryan go, we let Malcolm Butler go, we let Ordori Jackson go. We just let a lot of people walk, and we spent all that money on Bud Dupree, and he's coming off that ACL injury, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I haven't seen anything yet to show me whether or not he's worth that money, or was he just a product of what Pittsburgh was doing because of TJ Watt?
We'll see, though.
Other than that, though, I believe the Titans can outscore anybody. It's just whether or not their defense can withstand during the playoffs. And plus, like I said, Tannehill does great during the regular season, but during the playoffs, he really doesn't show up. So I have a little love-hate relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, but I honestly think the Titans should definitely win that division.
Oh, without a doubt, I believe we're still winning the division this year. There's no doubt about it, because I don't see Jaguars beating us, and I don't see. The only thing that I really did not like about the Colts Titans game is that you had Carson Wentz, who had 2 ankle sprains, barely could move, and yet you didn't get enough pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that right there is concerning.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. No, we'll see what happens, though. I definitely think the Titans should win the division.
We should. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't,
That's
unless
pretty bad.
God forbid Derrick Henry meets an injury to end, gets him out of the season. I don't see us losing the division anytime soon.
We'll see. God forbid if he goes down. That would definitely be a huge blow.
Yeah, because all we got is Jeremy Nicholas, and then and some kind of rookie running back that. Yeah. So if we lose Derek, it would be catastrophe, all written.
Definitely. No. Well, I don't think Derrick Henry's going to get. Hopefully, he doesn't get hurt. For their sake, that would definitely suck.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a interesting season because we're only into week 4, so all these teams that are doing well so far, there's an extra game in the schedule this year, so we have to. So who knows? A team can get red hot toward the midway season, and that happens. Teams can get red hot and start building into that momentum.
Right. The extra game definitely helps, and also the extra seeding too helps too. Now you can have 7 teams instead of 6 from each division, each conference. So we'll see. Now, I definitely think though the Chiefs aren't going to have an easy run to the Super Bowl now.
And I don't think Tampa's going to have an easy run to the Super Bowl either.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have their. They got matched up pretty well against the Rams, so we'll see.
Well, Dallas is also doing a lot better too because Dak Prescott's also healthy, and that helps having your main guy being healthy and stuff like that. So
That definitely helps.
Is this going to be your last season on the Tournament of Champions, or?
Honestly, I don't even know. It might be though. You think that? I mean, what else do I have left to prove? I mean, I won 2 in a row. I mean, it's not like it means something to win it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna get like a big grand prize or something. Like $50. I mean, shit.
I told you, Steven Rose is too busy spending it on the male Russian order bride catalog that he gets.
Right. When's his mail order bride gonna come in?
I don't know. I mean, she should be coming in soon.
Yeah.
I mean, she can come in paper or plastic. I mean, it all depends.
Maybe he just buys blow up dolls or something. Maybe that's what he's doing with his money.
You know, he's still talking about those like relationship stuff on there, and I'm just like,
I wonder what that other asshole's doing that he used to talk to.
oh, Tinny?
Not Tinny, the other one.
Which one?
The Browns fan that did the radio show that had the milk.
Oh, yeah. Moosehead. Yeah.
Mr. Moohead. I wonder if he's still bashing the Browns or if he's confident that he'll probably say, "Oh, the Browns, they still suck." He knows for a fact, though. He knows people won't watch his show anymore if the Browns are good because they love to see his misery.
Oh, by the way, Travis said when he was hanging out with Steven in Dallas, he praised him for pulling a hot Latino woman out hanging with me.
Wow.
Are you sure that hot Latino woman wasn't Steven Rose in the wig? Then again, though, he's not hot either way, whether he's a man or a woman.
Yeah, that Mr. Moohead, though. I wonder if he's still bashing the Browns or if he's saying, "Oh, we're a good team now."
You mean Mr. Oh yeah, Mr. Moohead, the one that had the movies. He had those like fucking man titties.
Yeah. And he knew better. Mary was gonna he's gonna try to retaliate against us or something. And Steve said, "I wouldn't want to fuck with them. They'll put your head on somebody's body and shit."
Yeah, now I found out how to do that face staff thing even more. So yeah, you definitely don't want to try it.
Oh god. And then didn't he have like a wife or something from Philippines or something he brought over, and she's married to him for the visa or whatever, for the green card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he loves his dog more than he loves his wife, though.
Yeah, it was a little bit. There were some weird pictures of him and his dog. I have to be honest about that.
Yeah, that's definitely. I wonder if Steven goes on the show still.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I mean,
right.
I try to see what Steven does sometimes, but he's always doing those little, like, does this person think it's hot? Will this guy choose this guy, or will this guy choose this girl?
Right.
Oh no, Travis, we're not talking about those two. Nah. But I do know KEM123 though. I've seen him on there quite a few times on Steven's shows.
Yeah.
And Joseph Tenney's kind of just went on under the radar. I have no idea where the hell he's been.
Right.
Maybe because he ain't getting around with that buck tooth little beaver that he's got teeth. Walking around sitting there like, look at me, look at the Texans. For years I've had to hear that shit from Texans fans.
Not good anymore. So I mean, you can't hear it. You don't have to hear it anymore. And it's pretty sad your quarterback doesn't want to play for you anymore.
Well, that's sad. Yeah, that's sad.
That just goes to show that they're probably never going to win a Super Bowl in their life.
You know what Warren Moon said recently? That he said that the Oilers colors are still it's with the Titans and not the Texans.
Yep.
So
pretty much.
I probably might do some hate weeks with Steven because he's doing like these weird bet stuff like that. I got some couple of bet ideas that I would
All right.
probably do with him or probably do to him.
Yeah. I know you're not TPC anymore, but I know you definitely would want to do a hate week with him, though, at least.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, definitely would be something to look forward to. Remember the Tennessee Titans, though, the first year when the Houston Oilers moved down to Tennessee, they were the Tennessee Oilers at first, and then they changed to Titans. So, I mean, was there a reason why they wanted to change the name? Was it just because they just wanted a new identity?
I think it is. I forgot the reason why they wanted to change the name, but there was a couple of names that fans were voting for. They almost became the Tennessee Copperheads.
Well,
Yeah, because they were going to call it the Snake Pit, and it was going to be like the Tennessee Copperheads. But I'm glad they chose the Titans instead. But that's
better fit. Definitely a better fit for them. Yeah, I can't imagine them being anything but the Titans. So it's a good thing they chose the Titans. And remember that first year when they were the Titans, then they ended up going to the Super Bowl. So was that how it happened? They became the Titans and they went to the Super Bowl that year.
Yep, and we were that little yard short with the whole McNair to Kevin Dyson, and Kevin Dyson was just a few inches short from the end zone. Yep.
What do you think they could have done better in that game to win it?
They could have had a better first half.
Yeah.
Than what they did. I mean, like the Rams had a really explosive offense that year, so it was. You had to. I just think the Titans kind of came back a little too late. Too late.
Yeah, because didn't the Rams have like a 14-0 lead or something?
Something of that nature.
Yeah, they definitely. I just think the Rams were just destined, I guess. It is what it is, though.
Anything else you want to discuss, Ogden?
I think we discussed pretty much a good amount of stuff today.
I really don't. I really think it's effed up that the NFL has forced players to take something that they don't want to take, which I think is really very unconstitutional of them and very unfair to do so. Right. But I give props to that player in Orlando. He's not doing it for religious reasons, so I give him props for standing up for himself and not wanting to take it. So,
yeah. I mean, we'll see.
And I still don't understand how Nick Fargo is still on the bandwagon of Colin Kaepernick. I mean, it's.
Well, I mean, I think it's just the fact that Nick Fargo wants Kaepernick to be with the team. But I mean, who wants to sign a guy who can't even read a defense? I mean, I get most of it probably was because of them not standing for the national anthem, but also I think it also was the fact that he's not that good of a player.
See, Colin Kaepernick, he was only good with the system that Harbaugh gave him, and the fact that they actually had a good team that year.
Well, then once teams figured him out, though, that's where he fell for it. He can only do like the read option system or whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, Kaepernick had a chance. He could have went in front of a bunch of scouts and did it at that place, but he didn't sign the paper, and he did it. He did his training somewhere else, and that's the reason why he didn't get picked up.
And it's also the fact that these quarterbacks think that they can run around like they're. I mean, the NFL. I mean, being a running quarterback's definitely not going to help you in this league. I mean, I know Vic did it, but Vic also can throw the ball too, though. He's not just running around every fucking time. I mean, Vic also ran. He also can throw the ball too. So I mean,
Michael
you
Vick
definitely
also Michael Vick also redeemed himself as well.
right.
So that's another thing. I mean, honestly, I don't. I think, to be honest with you, I think most of these NFL players are nothing but a bunch of prima donnas, anyways. I
Pretty
mean,
much.
if I'll be honest with you, when I played football before, if I was told that I would get paid $5 million a year to catch a football, you'd be bet your fucking dollar I'd be out there catching a football.
I want to be like, yeah, I want more money.
I wouldn't be like that. I'd just be like, dude, pay me. I mean, like, if you don't, they wouldn't they wouldn't even have to pay me that much. I would just do it for the love of the game. But
Just pay me a good amount of money, so I at least have a good living.
right, I
I mean,
mean,
how much more money can you make in your lifetime? I mean, these players want all this money, and then they get so much money. What are they going to do with it all?
oh
I
my
mean,
gosh, yeah, it's
I'd be happy if they say we'll give you $1 million a year. I'll be happy with that.
a lot of it is to do with these NFL agents that they get that they want to have their money too. So they're pretty much
Maybe that's also it. But I mean, also the fact that they could still probably make a good amount of money. Let's say if they make 5 million and the agent wants half of that. I mean, not half, but like a good percentage of it. I mean, you're still going to get like at least probably like 3 million, maybe. So I mean, you could definitely make it, but I think it's just the fact, and that's the reason why Brady keeps winning. A lot of people say, why does Brady still keep winning? It's the fact that he takes pay cuts just so he can help the team out. Because all Brady cares about is winning. I mean, that's one thing you got to give him props for. I don't like the guy, but he wins. That's the reason why he's got 7 Super Bowls.
yeah, but some of those Super Bowls are a little bit
Tainted.
tainted.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, it's the fact that also, like, Brady, a lot of luck came into the Super Bowls, too. I mean, he was lucky that the Seattle Seahawks were stupid enough to run the ball at the one, and then he was lucky enough that the fucking Falcons fucking choked the lead away. So, I mean,
Well, I was talking to Poston about this recently. If Cleveland makes it to the Super Bowl, do you know how much money and revenue they're going to make so you can take the Browns to the Super Bowl? I mean, like how much merchandise they will sell if they get to the Super Bowl.
right.
I mean, it's just going to be like I can see it now, a toilet bowl with a turd right there, and be like, take the Browns to the bowl.
They might be getting closer too. You never know. Maybe within the next, who knows? It might be this year. It could be next year. You never know. The Browns, but I think the Browns are getting a lot closer than people should expect them to be. They're definitely getting better as a team. I think eventually the Browns are going to get to the Super Bowl, though. I think now we can finally say that we'll see it in our lifetime.
Well, I know Cleveland fans definitely want that to happen. I mean, I remember who was that Cleveland Brown TTC guy we used to make fun of
Right?
him? Oh yeah, the one where he always carrying that brown sack. We always thought he was carrying shit.
Yeah,
Because he was carrying shit, that's why.
right. A lot of stuff has definitely changed now. I guess the Steelers are the team. They're the new Browns, I guess, because they're not playing that good anymore. To be honest, the Bills should never fucking choke that lead away against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh be 0-3 right now.
Yeah, they would be.
But it is what it is, though. But I mean, I honestly, I hope. I mean, I should expect it. I mean, Green Bay should slaughter the Steelers. I mean, Steelers aren't that good of a team anymore. And who knows? Maybe this will be the Steelers' choice to fucking bench Ben or something, and say, Ben, you don't got it anymore. We got to bench you. It's the fact that Ben let his pride get in the way of coming back. I think he thought he could come back and redeem himself, but I mean, you're just too old.
Yeah, I mean, like I said about Brady, if he continues to play at this level, I don't see any reason why he won't be
Play
playing
past.
until he's almost 50.
He might play around 50. I think he wants to break all the records. That's what it is. I think he wants to be the only quarterback in NFL history to have 100,000 yard passing yards. You think that's a possibility that might be running through his mind?
That could be running through Brady's mind. I mean, I'll go ahead and say this: Brady's probably the greatest quarterback that we've ever seen. You know, pound for pound. I mean, if we want to go statistic wise, I know some people will say Joe Montana, some people will say this, but honestly, I mean, even though if I don't like Brady myself, but I gotta give devil where devils due.
Right. You definitely got to give him props.
Any team in the NFL that had Brady right now would be better.
Yep. I mean, look what he did with the Cardinals. I mean, look what he did with the Bucks.
Before we go, Travis wants to know if you want your Packers to get revenge on Brady and the Bucks.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking revenge. I definitely would love to see. I think if I would write the perfect story, if this is Rodgers' last season, then I think the perfect script would be for him to get to the Super Bowl. I think would be to get past Brady in the NFC Championship game, beat them, and then go on to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. That'd definitely be the perfect storybook ending for Rodgers' career with Green Bay.
It definitely would be. Definitely would end the. Dude, it would be a really good thing to end on a good note. But I think was Aaron's got what 2 more years left on his deal, or a
Does
year
he?
left?
I thought it's just the 1 year, and then Rodgers decides if he wants to come back or something. I don't know. You might be right though. Maybe he does have 2 more years on his contract.
I'll be honest with you. If the Packers don't get it done this year, I see Aaron walking away.
All right. What I think they should do is if they still have him under contract. I mean, if they don't get it done this year, I think what's the best fit probably is just to make him happy and trade him off and to get pieces. I'm sure there'll be some value in him.
Yeah, and last thing Travis said was he better hope McCarthy and Dak and the Cowboys don't meet the Packers in the playoffs because the Cowboys want payback from the Garrett era. Plus McCarthy will want his being fired.
We'll see. Hey, we'll see. I mean, you got to meet us in the playoffs first, and then we'll see. Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it'll be exciting to see what happens in this NFL this year. But I definitely think the Packers should win their division, and I think they probably will get maybe a top seed in the NFC. So,
Are you doing any traveling anytime soon, Matt?
well, right now, I mean, how's the whole COVID thing? But I mean, me and my mom were talking about going to Myrtle Beach in November. So that should be interesting if that does happen, but we'll see. So have you and Mel talked about traveling or anywhere, or are you guys still wait?
We're planning on going to the beach next year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely talking about that.
Yeah.
But Myrtle Beach is actually a pretty good, from what I've been told, is actually a pretty good place.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they got good places around there too, like restaurants or something.
Oh yeah, a lot of seafood.
Well, I mean, it'll be kind of good though. I mean, be gone for like 4 days, take 4 days off of work or something, have like a little vacation, and then come back and re-energize.
Well, man, we'll both be in our 40s next year, so this be a perfect time to.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you guys are both 39, right?
Yep.
Well, that's good. I mean, it'll be good for you guys. It'll be a good like birthday present for both of you, I guess. To be in your 40s to go somewhere in life like that.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely thought about it.
you know.
We'll definitely do another one of these episodes again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Next time next time we'll do like an actual real football one, and we'll get like
I'll keep doing it.
We'll get Travis and a couple of guys in here, and we'll
That'd be interesting.
might even have some trash talking in the videos. People.
Maybe. We'll see.
But we got everything down. As far as American Horror Story goes, if you got anybody has never seen that show, you should definitely watch it.
Mhm.
Me and Mel are watching the last season of The Walking Dead, which has been kind of weird. The last couple of episodes, only got 2 episodes left before they come back next year again.
Yeah, for the final time.
And yeah, it's just everything's been pretty good.
Yep.
This old man right here is wearing glasses now.
Oh, wow.
I got prescription glasses for the first time ever.
You never wore glasses before, now you're wearing them?
Yeah, I went to the eye doctor a couple weeks ago.
You
My left
lost your vision to read or something?
My left,
Or something?
I have like a far vision problem on my right eye, and
Yeah.
my left eye is still good, but my right eye is not so good. And
So I wonder how they do that then when you get your license. Then you got to take the visual test without. What does that got to do with it? Just say to them like, "What? I got to wear glasses." All right.
yeah, I think so. I mean, the only thing I don't like wearing glasses with is I don't like wearing my mask with the glasses because it's very foggy.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time.
You guys still, you guys still got to go out there and wear. Is it still mandatory to wear the mask? You still got to wear it.
Well, what
And
I
it's-
have is I have bifocal glasses, which means like I can see in the front, and then when I'm reading, I can actually have my eyes go down and they can read like that.
Oh,
So. But I'm not wearing them right now. I'm still getting used to them. So
okay.
they kind of look like Zach's from Ghost Adventures.
Well,
Travis wants to know: does Matt Ogden know Billy Bob, that Patriots troll fan?
I know who he is, but I don't know him personally. Why?
Yeah. Apparently, he said Billy Bob hates Rogers for some reason.
I know he hates Rogers. Yeah, maybe the fact that Rogers is he secretly wants Rogers to come to New England.
You know what I find funny about that? About any NFL player, they can
Yeah.
hate on any other team can hate on players, but as soon as your team gets that player, you're like, oh, praise the Lord.
Right.
Like I guarantee you right now, if the Titans got rid of Derrick Henry and he went to the Texans, Steven Rose would be all over that.
Right.
I
I know
mean,
you would.
if Deshaun Watson came to the Titans, I'd be all over it.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'd be all over that shit. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's
Maybe Deshaun Watson will go to the Titans. You never know.
hey,
If this whole allegation thing's over, if he's found innocent, if not, he'll be fucking playing the longest yard too. Maybe they should make a sequel of The Longest Short and have him in it, starring Deshaun Watson with the sexual allegations.
oh, he said that Billy Bob. He said no. Billy Bob said because everyone says Rodgers is the GOAT, but he believes Brady is the only quarterback that should be called the GOAT. Well, according to Stephen Rose, when he's drunk, that he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
know?
Stephen Rose is the GOAT.
Right. I had a bottle with Jack. No.
Right. Yeah.
Aaron, I will say this much about Brady. Brady is he's pretty much the Michael Jordan of the NFL right now. He's
Well, he kind of eclipsed Michael Jordan's ring status, so now he's got 7. So
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I agree with that. I mean Aaron Rodgers is great, but I wouldn't call Aaron Rodgers the GOAT. I mean, to me, in order to be the GOAT, you have to win a bunch of championships.
right.
But is he? But is Aaron Rodgers up? Is Aaron Rodgers probably the one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Yes.
Right.
But I think we covered just about everything, though.
Right. I think so.
Now we just gotta get some guys in here, and then we'll just soon and let them run rum shot.
Right. We'll see.
Well, this is the ending of the episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. See you next episode 2.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next. And thanks for Leon for showing up there a little bit earlier. And like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.